Because if we're not careful, we think we just need to fire them. All right? Or we think, oh, we just got to put up with them. We don't want to do that. That will wear us out more. And then finally, we want to equip you today. This is going to be your job. Your job is to find one action step today. So you're going to go on a hunt and find this thing. I'm not asking you to get weird tattoos on your body. If you get weird tattoos, then you can be successful. That's all you need to do is get a weird tattoo. I'm not going to ask you to do a haircut that would be unattractive or might be embarrassing for your children if you were to go out in public. All right? You don't have to do that to be successful. But you are going to need today, Justin, to pick out one thing that you're going to walk away with. Okay? You guys okay with it? Raise your hand if you're willing to do that. One action step. Okay? Good. Good. Almost got everybody on that one. All right. Fantastic. Next thing, we want to make sure that you take notes. I've given you a notes page. Some of you guys have already pulled it out. That's one of the other pieces of paper. Feel free to write all over that thing. You've been here for 4 days. You probably have notes going on something else too, and that's just fine. But I wanted to make sure you had a piece of paper for this. Actually, down at the bottom, you'll see where you're going to do your Jedi move, okay? That's going to be your action step. That special thing that's going to change your world. And then finally, be careful. Guard yourself against the 4 words of doom, okay? We say them all the time, Frank. We say them all the time, and we don't even know how much it shuts us down. And get this, you guys. I said this all the time, Joe. All the time. When someone would come up to me and say, Clay, you know, I think that if you did this, I would go to the 4 words of doom, and it shut me down. If you guys have kids, this is going to sound really familiar. I'm going to give them to you now. You ready? You may want to write them down, because you don't want to forget them. Justin's already going, I think I know what they are. I think I know it. Purple. No, it's not that, okay? 4 words of doom. I already know that. With that paradigm, with that mindset, you will not be able to move forward in your life. It'll shut you down. Because why? Because you already know it. I already got it. I'm good. That was my Achilles heel until I was 47 years old. God, do you want to hit me, Barbara? Okay. Because I needed to be slapped upside the face because I was working with a bunch of stupid people. You know, that was always my paradigm. I tell you, it just led to some really poor decisions on my end. Okay? So be careful of the 4 words of doom as we go through this. So, we about set? Got the notes page here. Got everything in place. Guys, it's just this easy. Lee Iacocca. Anybody ever heard of this guy? Anybody ever driven in a Mustang before? Raise your hand. Has anybody ever looked at a Mustang and salivated a little bit and said, ooh, I wish I had one. Oh, we've got one in the back. Got the hoop in the back. You guys, Lee Iacocca, Mustang. That's what he did at Ford. He brought us the Mustang. A little bit later on, he went over to Chrysler. How many of you guys know one day there was a time when Chrysler was in a lot of trouble? Lee Iacocca goes to Chrysler. He brings us the minivan. That was his. That was his creation. It was his thing, the minivan. Anybody ever been there? Yeah. All right. I had kids. We were minivanning all over. What? The door's open and I'm not even there yet? This is sweet. Anybody have the minivan that's actually got the vacuum inside of it? What the heck is going on with that? It's in the back of like the passenger seat. You just kind of open up a little thing and a vacuum comes out so you can clean up the crumbs. Man, I will pay you anything. I mean, this is an awesome little thing. The minivan. We love that. And I always love my daughters already. I'll never have a minivan. You're going, yo, you're so going to have a minivan. Yeah, all it takes is just one kid. And you're like, God. You know, leaning in that bucket seat back there trying to get people. You know, forget that thing. Lee Iacocca. It's just this simple. What's your name?
Risa.
Hi, Risa. It's very nice to meet you. Risa, it's just this easy. Management is nothing more than motivating other people. What's the big deal? All right? It's almost like he says it and he just drops the mic. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Be sure to tip your waitress. But Diana and I both know, Richard back in the back, we both know, right? There are some people out there that are stupid. And no matter what I do, I can't motivate them. They're killing me, type of thing. You guys, it really is this simple. But what we've got to do is we've got to find out what's their motivator. There are some people that need a lot of motivation. Other people that don't need as much motivation. Other people, you just need to point them. And they have that self-motivation. Okay? We're going to be talking about that here in just a moment. Fantastic. So here's the first question. Why am I so tired? Clay, I'm just worn out. I appreciate what you're saying. I really like the little dance that you had going on up there. But I'm tired. So will you just shut up? Because I need to, if you get done early, I get to go home and take a nap quicker. Because I'm off all day today, because I got this thing, you know? Why am I so tired? You guys, this comes down to your production mindset. Okay? Everybody say production mindset. Production mindset. Very good. Your production mindset will determine how efficiently you get things done. Leah, as I said just a moment ago, I wasn't getting on to you because you're texting your husband, okay? That wasn't what I was doing. But as I said a moment ago, this is what I need you to get done. Leah's going to get a picture in her head of how that project, how that activity needs to be accomplished. And that picture that she gets in her head is vital. It is so important. Because if it is the wrong picture, it will lead her to too much work. And it'll wear her out. How many of you guys have ever had a boss come to you? You know, Barbara, here's what we need to do today. And in the back of your head, because you would never let it show on your face, you're thinking, oh my Lord, how is that ever going to get accomplished? Now again, if you're a 13-year-old, you're going, oh, what? Oh, I can't believe this. Wow, you know, you're just all over the place. You know? But we would never do that. We would never roll our eyes. You know, that's for those other people that are immature. That's for the stupid people. But it's not us. Does that make sense, Joe? I tell you, boom! It makes sense. Why am I so tired? Love this. Nothing grows until you do. Everybody say that. Nothing grows until you do. Got a client down in Texas, South Texas, McAllen, all like 10 miles from the border down there. She's a property manager. Got together with her. She's been in business for about 5 years. She started her own company. She's going, Clay, I've got so many companies. I'm just going crazy. I'm running around. I got these stupid people that are working for me. They're never doing the things I tell them to do. And it's getting into my marriage. My marriage is on the rocks. I don't ever have any time. I've gained 50 pounds. My blood pressure's up. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Okay? What was going on was there was a mindset that she had, capacity that she had, the responsibilities as her business grew were getting bigger and bigger, but her mindset never changed. She stayed here, responsibilities grew. And as responsibilities grow and mindset doesn't change, you're in trouble. Okay? You're in trouble. You're just setting yourself up for a lot of pressure and stress. But this was Ann. Okay? This was Ann in her position. Let's move forward on this. Here we go. Here are the mindsets. I put them on a pyramid because the vast majority of people are down at the bottom. Okay? Oh, sorry about that. The vast majority are down at the bottom. Sucking consumers. They show up for work. They're late. You talk to them and they go, what? I don't get what the big deal is. I'm here. What? You ask them to do something, they go, oh, okay. I'll get to it. They're just showing up to get a paycheck. They never step up, they just show up. Every single day. They are not producing anything. They're just sucking money off the top line. Sucking consumers. Next of all is the contributing worker. We're going to get into this here in just a little bit. I know there's nobody in here as a sucking consumer, so we're not going to spend much time there. The next one, though, is the contributing worker. This is the person that shows up on time, Joe. They come in. They do good work. You can count on them to do good work. They come in and they know how to get things done. They learn. They grow. They're doing a good job. The next level is, man, I love this one, the confident team builder. This is a person that's actually able to build relationships with other humans. You know, does that make sense, Laura? They can build that relationship with the other people, and other people actually want to be with them. Where are you going to lunch today, Laura? I don't know. I'm into this new thing today. I don't know what's happening. Hope you're okay with that. What's your name?
Quinn.
Quinn?
Gwen.
Gwen? It's a beautiful name, Gwen. But those people that can build relationships and actually have influence on other people because people look at them and go, hey, I like you, Barbara. You know? Does that make sense? Next level here is the efficient manager. This is somebody that knows how to put people together and get things done. You can put systems together. The next one is finally love this one, the effective leader. Person that's actually able to inspire people. Turn something on. Reach down there. I'm not going to reach down your throat, okay, so be careful. But I am going to, you can reach down their throat and get down into their heart and gum, and stir that heart up to where they're going, oh, yes, I'm inspired to do this. Does that make sense, Charlie? That's an effective leader that's able to do that. So let's dive into these. You're going to find yourself in one of these, okay? You're going to find yourself in one of these places. First of all, the contributing worker. Here's a great phrase. Finish the phrase for me. If you want it done right, welcome to the workforce. That's a worker mindset. If you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. Frank, just get out of the way. Let me do that. You know, okay, come on. Okay, just move. Let me do that. Come on, Frank. It's common sense. Does that make sense? Anybody ever heard those? Not out of your mouth, but Joe, you've heard other people say that. You've heard other people say that. And when the boss comes up, Barbara, and says, okay, this is what I need you to do. You see yourself doing the work. And that's why you roll your eyes. You're going, oh my gosh, I'm already doing so much. There's no way that that's going to fit because workers, what do workers do? Beautiful, you got it. Workers work. And so when there's something to do, you work. Got to get this job done. Then we will work harder. Again, don't raise your hand on this, but some of you guys are probably finding yourself already. Why am I so tired? Because you have a worker mindset. Your responsibility has gotten bigger, and what you're trying to do is everything. You haven't learned how to delegate yet. Yeah, I delegate, and then I look over their shoulder. You know, we'll get into that. Does this make sense to anybody? This is where Ann was down in Texas. I thought I was a strong leader. After spending just a month with Clay, I realized I was a strong worker that struggled with leadership. This is huge. This is where the worker mindset will take you. Am I the only one? Anybody ever heard someone say that? Am I the only one? I feel all alone. I'm working, I'm on that treadmill. Going, but not going anyplace. It's the worker mindset. To be a good manager, you got to get out of this. But no one teaches us that. No one tells us this. No one tells us how to get out of the worker mindset. Okay? Unfortunately, what we do, Diana, with great workers, you're a great worker. We're going to promote you to manager. Okay? Bad idea, because you skip the next level. The next level here is the team builder. So many managers are in a place of, these people won't do what I'm telling them to do. I walk in the room and they scatter like mice in the light. You know? You hear their fingernails and their toenails scratching across the floor to get away from you. Because I went from being a good worker, somebody looked at me one day and said, you need to be a manager, so they put me into management. But I skipped the team builder. I didn't learn how to build relationships, how to motivate people, how to get people to come toward me. If I move this way, they follow me, type of thing. This is an important thing. Here's the team builder. I love this. Team builders are able to see the problem and use people to solve the problem. Barbara, when that boss comes up and says, here's what we need to do, what you see is other people coming together and doing it. You see Harry doing it. You see Julie doing it. You see Frank doing it. Does that make sense? Rather than just yourself having to do it. And you don't see yourself in the picture. That's probably key to say there. It's not like they're doing it and you're right there with them, you know? Does this make sense, everybody? Okay? Let's see here. Draw people together. How about this for a company culture and building team? Anybody ever heard of Zappos? Tony Shea? Man, that guy is a team builder. Doesn't take long being around that guy going, I want to go where you go. Where are you going to eat today? You know? just want to follow you like a little puppy. The guy just draws people to him no matter where he goes. This is huge. This is what he had to say here. The number one reason people leave their jobs, you guys have heard this, is because of their managers or their culture, which connects back to their manager. Yet organizations often neglect to emphasize this issue. Many managers don't even realize the importance of making the connection beyond the job description. Because managers, how about this, you guys? Your job as a manager is to complete the task, right? Complete the task. That's the manager's job. And if we're not careful, Barbara, I'm the one that's going to have to complete it, rather than building other people and bringing them together. Again, what we're going through today is just 2 parts of a 4-part workshop that I do. So we're kind of moving through these kind of quickly here. Let's see, let's move on here. Next of all, the manager. Managers are able to delegate tasks to other people, others that to increase their production. They develop systems. Oh, this is huge. Do you guys have many systems in your office? Okay. System to go to the bathroom. All right. If you need to go to the bathroom, here's what you need to do. First, we're going to do, we set up systems, because if I set up systems, then I can leave the room and have people follow the systems. That's huge. That is huge. But if I don't ever set up a system, then I've got to be there all the time, Lord, to tell people what to do. I don't have time to do it because I got my own list of to-dos to do. Does that make sense? But managers move in this arena of putting systems together. Managers, we manage things, we lead people. You've probably heard that before. How many people out here, how many of you guys love to be managed? You just love for someone to be right there with you all the time saying, Joey, take your left hand. Nope. Your other left. Very good. Good, Joey. All right, yeah. And we're going to do this. We don't like to be managed. We want to be inspired. We want to be led. We manage things and we lead people. Fantastic. Let's see here. Oh man, here we go. Micromanaging. 80% of 30 to 44-year-olds find it very frustrating when their managers don't set them free to do things. They feel micromanaged. How many of you guys feel like if I don't micromanage, nothing will get done? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Yeah, because the people are stupid. You got to be there. Tell them what to do. You guys, again, as managers, if we can set up checklists, and I don't have time to go into all of this, but if we can set up checklists, if we can set up systems, and then we can just do this, then the system does the management, so I can go do something else. Did you get it done? Yes? All right, let me see your checklist. You didn't check anything on the box. You didn't check anything on the entire piece of paper. Well, I got it done. Okay, what do you mean you got it? Well, I got it done my way. I got it done the way I thought would be best. Okay, I didn't hire you to think. I hired you to do the work. You're a worker. As a manager, I have given you a system to be the worker. Does that make sense? But if you, as a manager, are the worker and have that mindset, you're just going to get worn out. You're just going to get worn out because you're doing all the work all the time. And then you're going to look at your people and you're going to get mad at them because you never did know that I needed to help them move from worker mentality to team builder mentality, from team builder into my job so I can move up. Does that make sense? Man, that team builder is a key piece. It's often left out. And so we have many managers that are in a place of working hard and they can't get other people to do it. Well, Clay, I could get them to do it, but it wouldn't be the way I would do it. Worker. Okay? If you want them to do it the way that you would do it, here's what we do, Diana. You write down, here's exactly how I would do it. First I would do this, next I would do this, next I would do this, next I would do this. Do that. Now they will do it the way that you have told them to do it. Does that make sense? Okay? Fantastic. Let's keep moving here. Finally, we have the leader. Orchestrates, communicates vision, inspires. Now we get the picture of people doing things, and I'm not even in the picture anymore because I've inspired them. The worker is a picture of me doing the work. The team builder, Justin, it's time for us to get this going and this going and this going. You see you doing it with other people. And we're eating Chick-fil-A, and we're all kind of kicking our head back. Ha, 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 ha. Because we've built relationship. We're sharing the experience together. Does that make sense? The manager, what they see when, Justin, here's what we need to get done. The very first thing you're seeing in your head is the system of what you're going to write down to make sure that these people get it done. The leader, what they see is systems handed out to people to get other people to do the work. And you just get to walk around with a cup of coffee and inspire and stir people. Does that make sense? How many of you guys know what the worker mentality is all about? How many of you experienced that? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about there, if you've been in that world of the worker mentality. How many of you guys know, because you have spent specific time, that you have been trained and you have learned how to be a team builder? You didn't just go and do the trust fall, all right? You didn't just go and do a ropes course with someone, but you've been trained to be a team builder. Raise your hand. Oh, this is so common. This is so common. So what we have now is a bunch of managers in position, but we don't know how to stir people. We don't know how to motivate people. We didn't learn that piece. And so as a result, I feel like I have to do the work and I get really tired. Does that make sense? Okay? Is this starting to click? Okay? Oh, man, this is good stuff. It'll set you free. Let's take just one moment. All right, I want you to talk to somebody next to you. What are you hearing so far? Where do you see yourself falling? It's possible that you see yourself in two of those spots at the same time. For me, I was the team builder and leader. Okay? I didn't have any problem building relationships and telling people, this is where we're going to go, and people would follow me. What I lacked was the worker and the manager. I never wanted to do the work. Yeah, put me in management so I can tell other people to do the work. How do you think that went? Again, I was a punk. Okay? And if people didn't do the work, well, I'd forget you and I'd move on. So let's take just 30 seconds, talk to the person next to you. What are you hearing so far? And where do you feel like you fit? This stuff will change your life, you guys. "15 seconds. If somebody has done the talking so far, the other person now needs to talk. Don't be hogging the time. Don't want any time hoggers. The worker says, if you want it done right, do it yourself. Team builder says, if you want it done right, get a bunch of people to do it with you. Manager says, if you want it done right, develop a system. Leader says, if you want it done right, inspire. Beautiful. Okay. Good deal. So, are we connecting? It's making sense? Okay, now again, the workshop that we do with this, we go deeper into how do we move from worker mindset to team builder mindset. And we're going to talk about that here in a moment, okay, a little bit, but we're not going to be able to dive too deep into it. But if you find yourself with this whole idea of, man, I don't know if I have learned how to motivate people, all right, let me give you a couple things. So I don't want you to walk away with going, okay, Clay, that's great, but I don't know what to do about it, all right? So here's what you need to do. Number one, you need to talk to them. And when I say talk to them, doesn't mean you need to tell them what to do. Okay? You need to have a conversation with them. You need to get to know them. Clay, I don't really want to get to know them. They're stupid. If I get too close to them for too long, I might become stupid. I don't want that, Clay. Does that make sense? We want to separate ourselves. You can't do that. Okay? Now the problem is you've already gotten the position as a manager. So your job as a manager is to get the task done. But you've skipped the team builder. The team builder place is where you get to build the relationship. How you doing, Frank? That's awesome. Man, you were so late today. That was awesome. But you're a manager, so you can't go, Frank, you stink. You're late. It's like you got this tug-of-war thing going on right now. So now you're going to have to find how to build relationships while at the same time holding people accountable for what they're supposed to be doing. And that's a tough spot. But I just want you to know you can do it. Okay? You can do it. Say that. I can do this. And what you need to do is have conversations with them. You need to find out about what's their life like. What do you enjoy doing? You need to find their motivators. What things motivate them? Obviously, it's not you. I think it took a moment on it. Wait a minute, did he just... Well, yeah, that's right. We need to find their motivators. Chances are pretty good, Joe, that as you think of your team right now, there's probably some team builders on there. There's probably some people that naturally, they get along with everyone. Everyone likes them. When that person, I come up and I stand in front, okay, everybody listen, and they keep talking, and then this person goes, hey, everybody, and they all get quiet. Identify that person. Go get to know them. Know them beyond work. Does that make sense? Know them beyond work. Now, there's boundaries, okay? So be careful, Barbara. All right? There's boundaries here, but we need to know them outside of work. So we design things. We're going to go out and do something together. We're going to do something after work. We're going to do the after hours thing. We're going to do a happy hour or something like that. And we're just going to build relationships. I need to be someplace where I don't have to be their manager. If I tried to build the relationship in the workplace during the workday, it's going to be hard. So I have to create an opportunity to build relationship when I don't have to be their manager. I can just hang out with them. Go to a football game with them. Watch a football, get in a fantasy league with them. Does that make sense? To build relationships. Again, all of a sudden it's like, is Clay actually telling us how to build relationships? It's like, that's really all we're doing here. It's not rocket science. How does somebody build a relationship with you? Well, I want to spend some time with them. I want to talk to them. I want to know them. I want to see some vulnerability. I want to know where they've screwed up. Does that make sense? I mean, again, this isn't rocket science, but I've had several people, Joe, and the reason why I'm talking about this right now, because I've had a lot of people go, Clay, that was nice, but you never really told us how to build relationships. It's like, really? But we can forget if we're not careful, because these are our workers. Does that make sense? How you see them is how you'll treat them. Ooh, Diana, that'll change your life right there. How you see them is how you'll treat them. If you see them as slaves, you'll treat them. If you see them as servants, that's how you'll treat them. If you see them as soldiers, that's how you'll treat them. If you see them as sons and daughters, that's how you'll treat them. You'll develop them, train them, bring them up. Does that make sense? How you see them is how you'll treat them. That'll change your world right there. Fantastic. All right, question number 2. Let's dive into this. How do I get my people to do what I ask them to do? Because I have had it up to here. All right? I'm about ready, I tell you what. One more time. And this is all things you've heard. All right? Nothing you've experienced, thank Jesus. All right? But you've heard other people that have done this. How do I get people to do what I want them to do? Was it Dwight Eisenhower that said the true art of leadership is getting people to do what you want them to do because they want to do it? Oh, there's like some Jedi mind trick going there. Yes, you will do this. Yes, I will. What's the magic? It's the motivator. It's the motivator, which is going to lead us to our next thing now, is where we're talking about personal velocities. So, Joe, your personal velocity will determine how much, I love this, your personal velocity will determine how much you can get done in a day. If your boss has come to you and said, here's what we need to get done today, and you're going, oh, my Lord, you have just come face to face with your personal velocity. Trying to get all of that stuff done that you just talked about ain't going to happen. Whereas somebody else that has a very high velocity, all right, get it, zing! They're the road runner. They're the hummingbirds. Does that make sense? How many of you guys know of a high velocity person? We're going to look at some characteristics here in a moment. How many of you guys know of some low velocity people? It's a little bit of difference. It's important that we recognize people for where they are and we meet them where they are. Okay? We meet them where they are. I know, I just hacked off a whole lot of folks, okay? But we're going to dive into this a little bit. Laura's already going, Clay, you're stupid, all right? Here you go. Your velocity is your drive times your energy. Sorry, science teacher, okay? Just came out. Another science teacher thing, work, all right? Remember, work is force times distance, right? Laura knows that. Force is the energy that you put in every day. Distance is how much you're getting done, how much you're moving forward. How many of you guys feel like you're putting in a lot of work, but you're not moving forward? Raise your hand if you're in that place. I'm doing a lot of work, but I'm not moving forward. So the idea is work getting done? No, you're busy. You're not working. You're just busy because you're not moving forward. Love this right here. We're going to dive into some principles from the Acorn Principle book. This is by Jim Cathcart. It's a picture of he and I just a couple months ago when he was in town. It's been a real honor to get to know him because he's kind of a big deal, and so I had to get a picture with him. Hi, Mr. Cathcart. Yeah, it's hilarious. Until he started playing on his guitar, and then it just got weird. But I won't go there, okay? On a dark desert highway. It's like, you shouldn't sing that song, okay? But anyway, love that. Your team will always be a mix of velocities, okay? Always be a mix of velocities. You must learn how to manage each level, or else you're just going to get mad at them, okay? Not that you guys have ever done that, but if you're not careful, you'll get mad at your folks. You'll distance yourself, and you'll sit over here, and you'll throw rocks at them. I can't believe they're not doing the work. And then your boss is going to come to you and go, it's the people. It's these stupid people. Not doing the work. It's a leadership issue. So here we go. See if this looks familiar to anybody. High velocity folks. Uh-oh, now we're playing this game. There we go. You are self-motivated. You love to work toward challenging goals. High aspirations. Competition. Yes. I love it. I thrive on it. In fact, if there isn't competition, I'll turn it into a competition. You know, want to go eat? Yeah, I'll beat you. You know, one of those things. You'll turn everything into a competition because that's what drives you. High expectations. I mean, we're talking high expectations of yourself here. Always thinking about tasks and goals and things to get done. Here you go. Your leisure time is used to grow. Some of you might be going, yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me. How much TV are you watching? You know, what is the average, like 80-some hours a week? Holy shnikes. Leisure time. These are people that when they go on vacation, they can't relax. This is my sister, okay? We go down to Gulf Shores. She's a real estate agent. We're down at Gulf Shores. She's on the beach under the umbrella. Okay, all right, yeah, she's got 2 phones going. This whole thing doing deals. My wife and I are looking at her going, can you put the phone down? You know, does this make sense? Anybody know any of these high velocity people? And you tell them, I think we just need to calm down and slow down and enjoy the vacation. They're going, ew, yuck, I don't want to do that. And if we're not careful, we'll judge those people. If you judge them, you can't lead them. You can't judge them. You got to let them be who they are. Let them be where they are on this thing. You find inactivity to be frustrating. Ugh. You prefer long hours filled with several different activities at the same time. This is a high velocity person. Again, all this stuff is in the Acorn Principle. Do you have any workers on your team that are high velocity? Are you personally high velocity? Something for you to identify. Okay? Something for you to identify. Where do I fit? High velocity people are like thoroughbreds. They're racehorses. That's what Cathcart calls them. Makes up about 10, maybe 20, probably closer to 10% of the workforce. There's not a lot of them out there. Here's what you do to manage them. You've got to give them maximum freedom and maximum feedback. You need to give them a lot of space. These people are energized inside. They don't need you doing the pep talk. They just need you to meet them in the morning and say, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to point you in that direction. Sick them. Get them. But you want to be very careful not to do this. Here you go, Barbara. That's the direction to go. Sick them. And I'm going to go over here and do a whole bunch of work. Because how many of you guys, high velocity people, will get a ton of stuff done, but if they make a mistake, it can really hurt you because they are so active. So you have to give them feedback. You have to coach them. You have to mentor them. You have to be there with them. Not micromanage. They will hit you if you micromanage them. Okay? Okay, they won't hit you, Barbara. You don't have to be afraid of them. But they will look for another job. You just point them, then you coach them along the way. If they make a mistake, you address it now. And you bring them back into alignment immediately. Does that make sense? They won't cry. They won't get mad at you. Okay? It's what they need. It's what they thrive on. Point them in a direction. Here's what I want you to do. Go get them. Fair enough? This is how you manage these types of people. You've got to give them the right environment, and you've got to become a coach to them. Clay, I don't want to coach anybody. It's going to be hard to manage them if you're not interested in coaching. I just want them to go do the work. Well, you're the manager. It's a leadership issue. Does that make sense? It's a leadership issue. I don't want to lead them. I just want them to do it. You got to direct them and then get out of the way. But stay close so you can guide them. If they make a mistake, all right, you got to jump on them quick. You got to do it now. And it's okay, Leah, to jump on them and go, Leah, no, we can't do that. Let's get back in line. You with me? You hear what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. Turn, ready, sick them. But how many of you guys know that if you do that with some people in the office, it'll break them? I mean, they'll just, do you not like me? You know, it's like, high velocity people don't care about you. They are focused on getting things done. Now, this is not a seminar saying, Joe, we need to go out and hire all the high velocity people. Okay? Because again, 10, maybe 20% of the American workforce is going to fit into this category. So if you find one, love them. Okay? Give them Chick-fil-A. Be nice to them. Give them little quick trip cards, things like that. Appreciate them, because there's not a whole lot of them out there. Most of the workforce is the moderate velocity. But it is possible here, as we say, you can increase your success velocity, which is simply how quickly you are moving from where you are into a place where you feel like we're really successful. We're getting a lot of things done. You can do it, but catch this. You have to make right choices with what you do with your time. Well, I'm a worker. You're screwed, okay? It's not going to work. You got to get out of the worker mindset. You're no longer workers, you're managers. Well, if I don't do it, nobody else will. You never learned how to be a team builder. Does that make sense? You've got to learn how to build relationships. Well, they're workers. They're not my... I don't want them to be your friends. I'm not talking about friendship. I'm talking about relationship with folks. Okay? Are you guys all right with this? Again, there's probably a whole lot that I'm not saying. All right? Because we just don't have time to. But, I did want to say this. Alignment is the key when assigning people to task. If you know you got something that's got to be done by Friday and it's Thursday afternoon and you need to get this thing done, do not go. Do not go to the low velocity folks. Go to the high velocity folks. They'll jump on it. Jump on it. Oh, gosh. See, there needs to be a filter. I'm sorry. Sometimes we've been in the room a while. There needs to be a filter.